Hey,
Hi.
happy holidays!
Oh, mercy. Okay. So this is Vlogmas Day 2, and we're keeping Vlogmas super simple and trying to have a little fun with it. So don't expect a lot. Just kick back.
Just go with it.
Yeah. It's just some time to kill. Put it on the background while you're cooking or whatever, and it'll be fine.
What are we talking about today?
Today, we are sharing our favorite Christmas movie.
Okay, so we have not gone over this with each other.
I don't know what's on her list. She doesn't know what's on my
So
list.
it's a surprise for us.
This is going to be interesting. Okay. How many do you have?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You have 7. I only have 5. Okay. All right, so you start.
Okay. My first one is Almost Christmas.
I have never heard of it.
Oh my God, I love this movie.
How old is this one?
Oh, it's not that old.
Okay.
Danny Glover's in it. What's her name? Monique is in it. Okay, so let me tell you the story.
Okay, I've heard of this movie.
You haven't seen it? Okay.
No.
If I have to watch whatchamacallit this year,
A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story, you have to watch Almost Christmas.
We'll see.
Almost Christmas is hilarious. Okay, it's about this man whose wife has passed away, and she always made a beautiful Christmas for the family. And she was kind of the peacekeeper of the family. Anyway, all the relatives are coming, and they all have issues. And some of them even bring their issues with them. So dinner is kind of crazy. Anyway, it's hilarious. There is all types of foolishness occurring. And Monique has occasion to say, young bitch, dumb bitch, stupid bitch, she gonna kill you, bitch.
Oh. In a Christmas movie.
But it's completely appropriate. Completely. Okay, what's your first one?
Okay, so one of mine, I'm just going to be honest. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies. I watch it over and over again, and it's hilarious. It is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I've seen that, yes.
And it is hilarious. So, Papa Griswold, he is very excited about this particular Christmas because he knows he's getting a large bonus from his job, and he's going to build a pool in the backyard for his family. And that's his gift that he's giving to his family that year. And he's really excited about it, but nothing goes as planned. His brother-in-law comes to visit. The brother-in-law is really insane.
Was it Randy Quaid?
Yeah. Yeah. True to type.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighbors, they're pissing off their neighbors because their Christmas light display is insane. And some unexpected things happen. There's a SWAT team involved. Okay. Ooh. By Christmas Eve, there's a raccoon, there's a small fire, there's a SWAT team. These are all things that become involved in their Christmas. I believe there was some small underground explosion that made a manhole cover. Yeah. Oh. So if you can imagine all of these ingredients for what should just be like a nice little Christmas dinner. Yeah. And it's a really dumb movie, but it does not fail to make me laugh. No matter how many times I've seen it, I cannot get enough because it. Yeah, I have like this weird feeling that like that could be me. Like I feel like I have strange luck where odd things happen like that, and there's always a confluence of oddness, and I don't know, somehow I like relate.
You know what? Several people have told me that odd things happen when I'm around.
Yeah, so I think that's part of the charm of the movie for me.
So anybody who knows me knows what my next movie is because I watch it each and every time that I can. First Harry Potter movie, don't judge me.
Are we calling that a Christmas movie?
Christmas comes during the movie.
Right, but doesn't it cover like his whole first year at school?
Yeah, but Christmas is a highlight. He gets his first Weasley sweater that Christmas. It was the first Christmas he actually got presents.
I feel like that deserves to be in the honorable mention category. I don't think that's like a proper Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
There was some movie or TV show where people were like debating whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I feel like Harry Potter is in that category. Like, ooh, is it though? But okay. But you know what? Harry Potter movies will make all of her lists. she's a Harry Potter junkie. I don't know how she still watches those movies at this point because she's seen them so many times. But all right, so the first Harry Potter movie.
I have to be in the mood for it.
Okay, she's often in the movie.
All right, you know, I have 2 more movies on my list than you do, so I'm gonna just go again right now.
Okay, go ahead.
So Die Hard was my next one.
Oh
no! I love Die Hard as a Christmas movie. It has all the ingredients of a Christmas movie.
You know what? I would allow Die Hard before I allow Harry Potter because it was specifically at Christmas. That was the reason he was flying
to town. Yeah,
and there was a Christmas party happening in the movie.
Right.
So I will grant you Die Hard, and I like that it's a quirky Christmas movie.
Yeah,
I like that it's not traditional. So I'll give you Die Hard.
Thank you very much. What's next on your list?
What's next on my list? Oh, you know what? It's so hard to catch this on television. I don't know who owns the rights anymore or what happened, but the 1970 version of Scrooge.
Yes, that was on my list too. Oh. That's the next one on my list.
Okay, so for both of us,
I still know all the songs from
it's Scrooge, 1970. Albert Finney.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it as a kid.
Yeah.
I loved when the Ghost of Christmas Present sings "I Like Life." That's a highlight for me.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I didn't even realize that's where that song was from. For some reason, I thought "Thank You Very Much" was from Sound of Music.
Oh, really?
I've never actually seen Sound of Music, so I might have. I saw this a long time ago, and I mixed up some memories.
Yeah.
But I do like "Thank You Very Much."
Yeah.
But it is like one of the most charming versions of A Christmas Carol.
And as a kid, it's charming and it's a little scary. I mean, I think they got all the notes right, and it is available, I think, on YouTube for free.
Is it?
If you want to see
I'll have to check that out because I would really like to watch it
because
again.
when I was looking at I couldn't remember because I happen to like that story. Okay, Mr. Dickens did a good job. So I have pretty much seen every version of it, up to and including the one where the woman who played Erica Kane, she was yeah, I've seen
and there was one with Vanessa Williams.
Sure too. Was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
A Diva Christmas something.
Yes, a Diva Christmas Carol.
So I could not remember exactly, was it called A Christmas Carol or was it called Scrooge? So I had to look it up, and I was like, that's
I looked it up too.
I was like that because remember Albert Finney's kind of crusty face. I was like,
Okay, so yes, we were in complete agreement
on
about
that
this one.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, what do you have next?
Love Actually.
Yeah, that could have been on my list.
Yeah,
you know what?
I like that.
Now, let me tell you, I've seen a lot of articles written about this movie that says somehow it's just like anti-woman, or like people are really critical about it. They feel like the women are portrayed really poorly in the film. I could not disagree more. And I tell you, I am sensitive about certain things. Just as an aside, in the first episode of The Witcher, there's this scene where these two men are talking, and in the background there's this like Garden of Earthly Delight scene where there's just random naked women running around. And I'm just like, oh, are we still doing this in modern fantasy storytelling? We're just saying this is explicitly for men, so we'll use women's bodies as decor? Okay, great. So that bothered me, and I never got past episode. As a matter of fact, I tried to watch the episode twice. The first time I watched it, I cut it off there because I was like, no, we're not doing this. So I am hypersensitive to these things. So had I seen any of that in Love Actually, I would have been highly aware. But I think for me, the point of the movie is that love, they showed all the aspects when love, it's happy, when it's sad, when it works, when it doesn't. So there are moments
the
where
beginning, the end,
yes, the little boy with his very first love ever. And shut up, it's a great movie. It's just sweet, and it's just charming, and it's fun, and it's about real life. The guy who played the prime minister can't dance at all, but that dance scene was like the best.
Was that Hugh Grant?
Yes, he did this weird little sideways thing, and I can't
imagine what Hugh Grant would do in a club if he had to dance. I'm like,
but the very beginning of the movie, when they're at the wedding and all the different musicians start popping up from the crowd as a surprise, I was done.
Yeah, I cry. I do.
So I'm Love Actually. I'm gonna steal that one from my list.
What's next on your list?
What's next on my list? Scrooge. Can you tell my sister? That was right there on my list. Yeah. So Bill Murray plays, evil corporate exec, and has his 3 ghosts visit him.
And yet again, it's it's that same story. Thank you, Dickens.
It is. Oh yeah, it is hilarious. He's so off. The Ghost of Christmas Present.
Was she present or future? The lady with the curly hair.
Oh no, she was past.
Oh, she was past. She keeps hitting him with
the toaster.
The toaster, yes.
I heard they didn't get along on set.
I can imagine.
But it's, if you haven't seen it, it's a modern retelling of A Christmas Carol where
an evil television executive.
Yes. Yeah. So he's planning a live production of A Christmas Carol that is going to be broadcast on Christmas Eve. So all of these people have to work. I mean, there are animal handlers, there are dancing girls, all of these people have to work. And then he wanted, like, particularly the Ghost of Christmas Future to be so scary that some old woman who saw the promo had a heart attack, and he was ecstatic.
He was like, yes, it's just scary enough.
So, and he has to learn his lessons, and it ends with a song, and then at the end, like, they're talking to the people in the movie theater, so he's telling the people in the theater to start singing.
Yes.
And he's like, everyone on the left and everyone on the yeah. I loved it. I absolutely loved Scrooge.
That's a highlight for me.
Okay.
What else you got? Is that all?
Yeah, that was me. So now you.
Yes, I have one last one.
Oh, you only have one left? I have 2 left. How do we do that?
Okay, well,
all right. So my number 2 shouldn't surprise anyone who's been watching this for a little while. It's A Christmas Story.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it yet.
She's never seen it, so I'm going to ask her to watch it this year because, it's got that whole, like, coming of age aspect to it. It's about this kid who wants this one present for Christmas. He wants a BB gun, and it's all of the things he does to try to get this BB gun and how much the BB gun means to him. And it's just about leading up to the days leading up to Christmas, just like kind of his life at that time. His family's a little kooky. He's being bullied at school. His grandmother sends him the worst Christmas present ever. And his father is obsessed with contests, and he finally wins a prize in a contest, and it's god awful. Oh, and his wife hates it. But the house that was in the movie has been made into a museum, and one day, I believe it's in Ohio, I'm going to visit it.
She's gonna make a pilgrimage.
I am. It's a really silly movie, and every year, I think it's TBS does a 24-hour marathon of the movie, so they just air it like 12 times in a row. And I actually had to take a few years off from watching it because I've watched it so many times. For a little while, I couldn't watch it anymore because I would actually watch it multiple times during the marathon.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. So this year will actually be my first year watching it in a while. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, I'm at the last one on my list now. Now you're going to debate me on this.
I think you mentioned this before in a daily video, and I was like, "What? No, that's a Christmas movie."
Which one?
I don't know. Go ahead and say what your movie is.
The Last Holiday.
Oh no! You told a story about some old movie with the guy. I married and the brothers.
Yeah, I decided to stick with my current favorites. Okay, because that's literally something I used to watch when I was like.
Okay, because I had never heard of this movie. And
The Quiet Man.
Yeah. So I thought that was going to be your number 1.
No,
okay, so this is new. So what's your number 1?
The Last Holiday.
With Queen Latifah. Is that the one where she thinks she's dying?
Yes.
Okay.
And she just has this she just turns her life into this beautiful adventure because she thinks she doesn't have much time left. And it was really wonderful.
I saw it, but I barely remember it. That might be worth a rewatch.
Yeah.
Because
it's a charming movie. And it's
one of those really funny.
Yeah. And it was a really like feel good kind of movie.
She's gone on to like do so much in her career, and she gets cast in a lot of dramas now. But the first time we saw her act, it was a sitcom. It was Living Single.
That's right, yeah.
And she's funny. I would love to see her do more. She's done a lot of comedies, but yeah, I would love to just see her keep doing comedies more often, not exclusively, but more often, because she's incredibly funny. And to find someone who just like has that comedic timing, and who put together the faces and the body language and all of that, it's it's rare. It's not everyone can pull it off. So I like Queen Latifah in comedies in particular.
So if you like any of these movies, or you're gonna watch any of them,
oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do my number one. Oh, yeah. What is it? I have one more. It is the 1947 version of Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh wow!
Don't watch that one from the 90s.
You went back.
Whew. I watched that every single year. It never gets old. I never get tired of it. There's actually a version that was done in the 70s that I didn't like because the lawyer was wearing a turtleneck and I couldn't handle that. It was like very 70s.
It was the 70s, okay?
Yeah, and I'm like a turtleneck and some bell bottoms, and I was like, we're not doing that. But yeah, the 1947 version of Miracle on 34th Street. I can watch it black and white. I can watch it colorized. That's another
Maureen O'Hara movie.
Yes. And it is just, first of all, I think it was surprisingly forward thinking because it featured a single mother. And in the movie, I'm not sure they ever tell us if her husband died or if they divorced.
I don't know.
No one in the movie called her a widow, which I think they would have.
Yeah, I don't know if they dealt with it.
The fact that they didn't talk about it, I feel
maybe, it was not too long after the war, the time it was set in. So maybe she was a war widow or something.
I don't know.
Because nobody said anything about it. And she wasn't she didn't have a scarlet letter anywhere.
So here she was, like this wealthy single woman who was an executive in a big company. She worked for this large department store. And I feel like that was probably unusual for that time.
It never even dawned on me that was a thing.
Yeah. And so she's decided that like she wants to raise her daughter as the same kind of pragmatist that she is. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this was a really interesting character to have all of this happen to.
Yes.
And I feel like it was also done without any judgment of her as a pragmatist and raising her daughter the way that she is. It was just kind of like an invitation to see the world a slightly different way than she had. Mm-hmm. So I was really happy that the movie didn't seem to have like this subtext that was judging her in her circumstances or her choices. But of course, there's still a love story.
Yeah. And they got her hitched by the end of the movie.
No, they weren't married. I feel like they had just like kind of decided to start dating. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that I particularly love about this version, that it was such a hard fail in the 1990s version. There's two problems with the 1990s version. One, that the little girl was so sad and depressed that I feel like she needed a child psychologist.
Oh.
Like,
you know what? Now that you say that, I kind of remember that one.
Right.
Yeah.
She in the original movie, she's not missing anything from her life. She doesn't feel bad about herself. She's not Branch from the Trolls where she's all in gray tones and there's no color or no song in her life. She's just like a regular little girl. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like the way they portrayed her in the newer version as if like there was just something missing from her life.
No.
But the other thing is, in the 90s version, they did not win that court case.
Oh, for real?
I mean, the judge does declare that the guy is Santa, but no, in the 1947 version, that lawyer won that case as a matter of law.
Of law, that's right.
They had effectively testimony or evidence from a branch of the federal government, and the whole thing was that because it is a crime for the post office to willfully misdirect mail, to deliver mail to someone who is not the recipient. When the post office delivered all of those letters to Kris Kringle at the courthouse, they were saying,
"This is Santa."
Right. And so the judge was in a tough spot because he was told that, if you say there's no Santa,
you're killing all these kids
right,
around the world,
and destroying the retail holiday. Mm-hmm. But if you say this guy is Santa, you're going to look crazy too, and you're not going to be a judge much longer. So the judge kind of split that hair by saying, well, I'm going to stipulate that perhaps there is a Santa, but you have to prove that this man is Santa. And that's how it was done. Mm-hmm. And when they come in
with all the mail bags, yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was just such a moment.
And then Santa knew the mailman.
I cheered. That moment
yeah.
never gets old. And kind of like the little coda at the end where they find the house, and that movie just got every note right. It is almost, I would say, a perfect film. And it's not too saccharine.
No.
which a lot of Christmas movies, like, it's not like a Hallmark movie.
No.
Um,
Have you been watching any of those?
I haven't in years. I
haven't watched
tried
any
and
of
just
them. I might try. Like Netflix just put out a bunch of them, a
Mhm.
whole crop of Christmas movies. So I might try one or two of the Netflix Christmas movies.
I'm always in the market for a new Christmas movie. I like to discover new Christmas movies. Like, you know what? I used to watch Lifetime a lot.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah.
I was big into Lifetime movies. I know people like look down on them, but there were, and yes, the genre was terrible things happening to women, right?
Yes.
So there were a number of Christmas movies where it starts off just real bad. Like, there's this, I can't remember the name, but just the beginning of the movie, she was working at a grocery store. She gets fired like a couple of days before Christmas. So she's still trying to make a nice Christmas for her kids. And so she has a Christmas tree. It's strapped to the top of the car. She picks up the kids. They're driving somewhere. And she gets carjacked.
Oh, God. Okay.
And her kids and the tree are in the car. And she's not in the car, but the kids in the tree are in the car. And then at some point, the car ends up going off a bridge. And this is like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh, jeez.
But
how they turn that around?
Because the guy let the kids out the car first.
Oh, okay.
So she did not lose her children. But these all terrible things happened to her on like December 23rd in the first 10 minutes of the film.
Okay, how on earth?
So Lifetime, movies can be like that.
Lifetime gives you a turn.
But they do manage to turn things around.
Yeah, because I was like, how did they manage to turn that?
Yeah. Like there's another one where like this woman gets divorced and, because her husband left her for another woman. And she's really, at one point she was like literally homeless. The kids, didn't want to live with her. So they go back to live with their dad and she's all alone. But she turns it all around and she gets into real estate and it's all wonderful by the end. But, Lifetime can take you on that ride. And for a while, I was there for it. I was totally there for it.
We've had Lifetime movie Sundays. I'm not even going to lie.
You know what? Yeah. I thought they did a particularly good job with their supernatural movies.
Yeah,
I think when they didn't just entirely focus on like, what terrible things can we do to this woman now?
I remember when Nancy McKeon was like the first lady of Lifetime.
Oh, yeah. They went through, and Judith Light.
Yeah. Judith Light carried that network on their
Judith
backs.
Light did all the things because she was the hero. She was the villain. She got cheated on and abused. Sometimes she was a psycho killer or a stalker. She did all the things. I think, wasn't there one where she had to, her husband was accused of murder and she had to defend him or something because she was a lawyer?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So I Lifetime doesn't do what they used to do anymore, like at least not as well as they used to do it.
And I miss it.
But yeah, so for me, instead of Hallmark, I was into the Lifetime.
If you wanted some melodrama, Lord, yes.
Because they did a Diva Christmas Carol.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so
okay, well then. That took a turn.
Yeah. So point is, I'm always open to new Christmas movies. I just, in the last few years, just haven't found any that I could get into. I know everyone's like Christmas Prince and all that stuff. I'm not there, but I will keep an eye out. I'm definitely, happy to add to my list.
Yeah, drop some in the comments if you have any that we haven't mentioned.
Yes. I would love like a sci-fi Christmas movie, something with a sci-fi bent, and I don't know that I've come across that. Like, give me. I technically, I suppose maybe. Well, you can consider a Christmas Carol a little bit of like maybe fantasy, sci-fi, but
maybe.
Just give me like some hard time travel.
Ooh.
Oh, there've been some with like time loops.
Yeah, there's been a couple of time loops.
Yeah.
But what about that one? I can't remember the name. About basically, no humans are fertile anymore, and this one girl turns up pregnant.
Oh, the Children of Men.
Yeah.
What did that have to do with Christmas?
She was like the Virgin Mary.
And this is a good place to end this.
I mean, they literally introduced us to her in a barn. I mean, that was what they were implying.
You're reaching. You're reaching for that Christmas star, and yeah, okay.
You gotta reach for the star.
But on that note, bye.